We are going to work on a box called Puppy, which is a medium-rated hack-the-box machine. This is a pretty good box for practicing your Active Directory hacking skills along with the fundamentals. So I have the port scans done already. I didn't want to waste anyone's time. Nothing stands out. This is a very typical Active Directory machine. Got a much more detailed scan on every single service. Much like the OSCP, we have some initial set of credentials for the Active Directory. Whenever I have credentials, I run it against the SMB service. So I've got netexec validating the credentials, levi.james, king of Akron, on the SMB port for puppy.hackthebox. I have this command, which does a simple bash for loop to go through WinRM, LDAP, SMB, and the RDP port. That's a fat rejection, so we can't do WinRM. We can obviously log into LDAP with these credentials, and we have SMB. Let's list the shares on this SMB port with the addition of shares. Look standard except for dev share for puppy devs. That seems like a gold mine. Let's connect to that share with SMB client. Once again, I've got the share address and share with the credentials, and looks like I connected. Status denied. So I can't really do much here. This user clearly doesn't have access. We still have a lot of enumeration to do on the SMB port. First thing I'll start with is RID brute to get a list of all the users that exist. There's all my users. Look at that. However, formatting is off. I don't want to copy paste everything. So I have this bash command, which is just magic because all it is, it prints out my users. Voila. Sorry. So we've got levi.james and Edwards, Jamie Williams, Steph Cooper. This box was released during the NBA playoff season, so there's a clear pattern here with the usernames. Now, I know what you're thinking. That's not very good enumeration, but we still have LDAP. Let's sync our clock to the machine. Great. I'll make a directory for LDAP dump, get in there, and then run LDAP domain dump. This will just go through LDAP, get all the records that we can, and dump them into cute little HTML files. Look at that. Amazing. Once again, we've got Ant Edwards, Adam Silva, Jamie S. Williams. These are all our roles. You can see we have a group called developers. We have a group called remote management users. So that's our WinRM users. So if we can get Adam or Steph Cooper or even Steph Cooper admin, we can do WinRM and log onto the machine. Look, I love LDAP domain dump, but it doesn't give me enough. So let's spin up BloodHound. If you don't have BloodHound CE set up, this is how you do it. I'll get BloodHound CE started on Docker. Now I'm going to collect all my BloodHound logs through BloodHound Python. We've got the domain, my credentials. Might have to specify the name server. If you're running into any can't find domain issues, make sure to specify the name server, and that's just the actual base address because it's got port 53 open. Boom, I think that's done. Time to go to BloodHound. Yay! Log in. You might have to log in twice if it's your first time setting up, but that's fine. Go to the ingestion page. Now, there's already some data here, so I might just get rid of it first before I do anything else. Look at that typing speed. So let's upload our files. Upload. Some of you might be losing focus. Hey, focus. And looks like that is done, which means now we can go enjoy. So first things first, when I get BloodHound, I go to the main user that I have and levi.james. And I mark them as pwned. Now, if we scroll down on the object levi.james, we will see an outbound object control. And it seems because Levi is part of the HR, they have generic right over the developers. What is developers? Developers group. Generic right in this case means that I can just update developers group however I want, which means we can just add ourselves to developers. So we're going to use BloodyAD on the DC host. What my credentials again, and the instruction here is add group member to the group name developers, levi.james. And then we can get the actual developers group to see the attribute member, and it should have levi.james in it. There we go, levi.james or levi.b.james. So now we are officially a part of the developer group. And if you remember, there was a share called dev, which could have been accessed by dev puppies. Let's connect to SMB client to the share again, except this time I will say recurse ls to just print out all the directories and their contents recursively. Sweet, so we have KeePass, the MSI to install it, I'm guessing. But that's the actual KeePass XD version 2.79, cool. And a recovery KDBX. So we'll just get recovery.kdbx, boom. So now we have recovery.kdbx. It is a KeePass password database. All we need to do is crack the master password. And the easiest way to do that is KeePass to John, give it recovery.kdbx, and it doesn't work. Well, that's not good. So we're getting file version 40,000 is currently not supported. When I looked that up, it seems like it's something that people have run into, and there's actually a blog going over how you can overcome this yourself. They wrote their own Python wrapper around the KeePass module to crack these passwords. Father 0xdf faced a similar issue, and he had a script called KeePass for brute, which I really like. And it uses the KeePass XC CLI to full on brute force the passwords by trying each one. So KeePass to John would have extracted the hash, and you could have cracked the hash with something that's optimized for GPUs like Hashcat. It's not going to be that optimized. This is obviously just a CLI tool that's just being spammed again and again, but it'll get the job done for now. Let's go to KeePass, and this is the command. I am asking it to crack recovery.kdbx, and I've given it the word list rocku.txt, and it should eventually get us something. As you can see, this is ridiculously slow. We found the password, but we got lucky because it was like 37th out of a million. All right. So it was Liverpool. That works! Now I'll export that as a CSV file because I don't want to go through each one of them. Boom. And we should have passwords. We do. So I'm really only concerned about the passwords row. And with this bash magic, I can print out all the passwords. Open a new passwords text, paste the passwords. I'm just going to spray all the passwords I have against all the users, and I'm sure it will be fine with this beautiful command. And this flag just means, well, once we find someone who has the right credentials, to keep going. Hopefully we won't lock out any users, but I'm sure we'll be okay. And we have a set of credentials. Ant-Man has some outbound object controls yet again. So Ant-Man is a senior dev, which means he has generic all on Adam Silver. That's hilarious. So Ant-Man has generic all on Adam Silver, which means he can just change Adam Silver's password if he wants to. Adam Silver is a remote management user, which means he can just WinRM into the machine. Easy. I will be using BloodyAD yet again. So you've got Anthony Edwards' credentials, and all I'm saying is set password for adam.silver to the new password. That's how easy it is. That's why I love BloodyAD, dude. Look at the password here. I'm sure the password on BloodHound is also not that bad. It's not that bad, but every single time it's a different thing. So I will just reset his password. Voila, password has been changed successfully. Now let's see if those credentials work now on the SMB port, and we get status account disabled. So this user has had their account disabled. So once again, that's just a flag on LDAP. We can disable that since we have generic all on it. And the command is remove UAC for adam.silver-f account disable. That's how simple it is. And now the SMB password spray. There we go. Now it works. Let's do WinRM. Hopefully it should work now. There it is. We are officially adam.silver. Now in the root directory, luckily for us, there's a backups directory. So backups directory has a site backup zip file, which is pretty good. Let's download that. Oh, it's taking so long. Once that's been downloaded, you should find site backup. Let's unzip that. Let's go into puppy. I think that's what was unzipped, right? Cool. That just stands out. What is that? A backup file? It is. And it's got passwords. It's got a password for Steph.Cooper. There you go. Should freaking work. Voila. Easy. Let's get a shell of Steph Cooper. Let's go, baby. What is it? Steph. Oh, here it is. Boom. Easy. I have a bunch of binaries. WinPiece is one of them. So I'm just going to start our Python server. http.server 8080. Should be good. What's that? 8080 is already taken. We'll do 8000. Boom. All right. Let's install WinPiece on our machine from the server. Now, so let's run winpiece.exe. Sweet. There you go. That's what it looks like. It's a P. Now my job is to just scroll through all of this, see if anything stands out. And if it doesn't, tough luck. See, now there we go. We have some DPAPI master keys, and we have some credential files. All right, now that we have the credential files, all I have to do is print out the base64 version for the master API key. Sweet, well, that's good. I'll copy that. I'll open a shell below, and I'll do master b64, paste that in there. And that command right there should give us the master key. Boom. Next up, we have the credentials file. So that's the path we found from the credentials. Easy, base64 encoded. I'll do vi cred.b64, paste that, and decode it. Boom. And we should have a cred.file. Easy. Now that we have our master key file, we may extract it with the in-packet DPAPI binary master key option. I'll give it the master key, the SID for the current user, and the password for Steph Curry. And we get a decrypted key. With that key, now it's time to decrypt the credentials. DPAPI credential up. There we go. That's already done. And enter. Yes, we get a password for Steph Cooper admin. I'll just spray that password on all the users. I already know it's for Steph Cooper admin, but it still feels good. Don't do it on a real pentester. You might lock someone's account out. There it is, Steph Cooper admin. Just evil in RMN. Steph Cooper admin, 5th chip on its way 2025. Definitely wasn't 2025, and we're logged in. Up for I am an administrator, and I should be able to desktop root.txt cat c users administrator desktop root. Oh, we did it. Well done.